microphone doesn't work. No, it's okay, everybody. We're not going to be, this microphone is for the benefit of our listeners at home. Millions of people across the country listening right now to the No Funny Business Comedy Show. It's our pleasure to be doing it for you here at the George Street Playhouse, the biggest show we've done yet. So everybody give yourselves a round of applause for coming. But of course, we love to joke about the governor. And our friend of the show, Barbara Buono, is not doing so good right now. She is really behind the governor, which, as we all know, is, from a visual perspective, the worst place to be. But the governor was in the news this week. He dropped the appeal of the gay marriage. He let the legal. Yeah, it's the first time he's given up on anything since, I guess, his diet.
In the 3rd grade.
But, so big news, the biggest news, really. Kanye West proposed to Kim Kardashian. Yeah, she said she was very excited, super happy about it. It's, usually she's the one on her knees, so. So there was a weird headline I saw out of Far Hills, New Jersey last weekend. 55 people were arrested at a race for public urination and drugs, or as we like to call it here in New Brunswick, a weekday. We got a great show for you tonight, everybody. Thanks for coming out. All right. So, it's good to be here. Thank you all for coming. We've done this show now for 3 years. And yeah, we took like one of them off. But we're back, and the show is much better. It's in a much bigger venue. I have to thank Collab Arts for sponsoring it. And yeah, gosh, we're just so excited about it. You can also, now we're streaming on the internet live. There's this new thing called computers. And the really cool thing is you could tweet us at NFB Comedy throughout the course of the show, and no one will read it or do anything with it, but we forgot the password. It's been a while. But how about that monologue? 4 jokes. We really took us a year to write that. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, at No Funny Business, we are always very proud to support the fine student athletes and athletic programs here at Rutgers University. In keeping with that mission, I'm very happy to welcome a special guest for all of you. This is the newest head coach hired at Rutgers University. Put your hands together for Phil Nerges. Well, welcome to No Funny Business, Coach.
Do these microphones work?
I don't think so.
Okay. I brought prepared remarks for nothing. Thank you.
So, Coach, how'd you come to be coaching football here? I didn't even know we had fired the existing coach.
Well, Charlie, I have a great resume, a lot of confidence, and a unique coaching style that is all my own.
Well,
I've rehearsed, Charlie.
I was there. So, well, I'm sure you're very happy to be here at Rutgers. The football team is doing very well this year.
They will be doing much better when I am through with them.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Charlie, I mean, your coaches here, they're very soft. I hear you at Rutgers fired a coach for calling kids gay.
Now that you mention it, we are pretty sensitive, over here to that type of thing, and I think people agreed that he was not a good...
Charlie, let's be honest here. This is college sports. How else are you going to motivate college athletes? I used to use racial slurs, but even those are cool now.
So wait, you use the homophobic slurs as... you're trying to encourage people. It's an encouragement.
Yeah.
And And you put all this stuff on your resume, your coaching style. You get into that?
Oh, God, no, Charlie. I don't put this on my resume. I lie on my resume.
Fair enough. So you're just like a hate monger?
Charlie, I'm not a hate monger. Listen, for all of you, I'm no hate monger. The thing is, sports, the language surrounding sports, is inherently homoerotic. Balls and sticks, players and swingers, it's right there in front of me. I'm just using the language inherent in the system. And if these athletes are too stupid to know that what they're doing is already gay,
Well, I have a copy of your resume right here, actually, and it says you coached at Duke
Yes.
for 18 years. So you do have, is that real?
Yes and no. I coached at Duke Middle School in Hackensack for 18 years, their chess team. I was more of a proctor, but, you know.
Okay, coach, so you lied on your resume?
Yeah, everybody lies on their resume.
How'd you even get an interview for the job?
My brother is an electrician at Rutgers, and he also sells steroids to the women's basketball team.
Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to get used to your coaching style here on the Banks.
Apparently not. I have just received a tweet. Someone here has recorded my remarks, and I've just been fired. Which is fine, because there's a job waiting for me up at the Meadowlands coaching the Giants. Now all I have to do is come up with a gay pun about Eli Manning. I'm thinking something Eli woman-ing.
All right. I wish you the best in your job search. Thank you so much for joining us. Give it up, everybody. Coach Phil Durkin. Capital K comedy here. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome our first comedian of the night. He was also the first ever comedian to appear on this show, and he's kind enough to come back and visit us here in New Brunswick. Put your hands together for the one, the only Jimmy Hollander.
Just a sec, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to say sorry about the internet. I've been streaming Netflix this whole time. Come on, Avatar. You have Avatar on your phone right here. Are you not going to watch it? Come on. Wow. It's good. I just want to say happy birthday to the photographer tonight. Yeah, he turned 13. Jesus, Charlie, a little more excitement in the monologue? Come on, man. Even when Hitler hosted the Olympics, he knew how to make people feel excited to be there. Say what you want about his politics, people were like, all right, this is a show, damn it. This is about to see something good. I went to college. I have 2 degrees. One is in astronomy, thank you very much. And the other is in criminal justice. So I'm just going to do this shit until I can become a space cop, guys. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Dude, hold on, can you stand up for a sec? Yeah. You were like the epitome of testosterone. You're like one of those guys who just grow a beard in like the 8th grade.
It's 4 p.m. this afternoon.
All right, you can sit down. All right, I went to the Jersey Shore this summer. Anyone go?
Yeah!
So I went to park there, and this guy's like, in this parking lot, this guy's like, that'll be $25. And I was like, you're gonna get 10, all right? He's like, don't you know a hurricane hit here, all right? It devastated the place. You don't support the shore? And I was like, first off, let's be clear. That hurricane hit buildings, okay? It didn't devastate a parking lot. Someone walked out here and was like, oh my God, the gravel parking lot. And it's like, you didn't even have to sweep. If anything, you gained spare boat parts. I just flew to Poland. This is like 4 years ago. And has anyone ever been to like Europe?
Yeah.
Flight takes forever. And my friend was like, dude, you're gonna want to take something for the flight. And what he meant was something to sleep. But instead, I sniffed cocaine and then paced the plane for 13 hours, touching people's hair, going, that guy's hair's softer than the last. Wow, crazy. People were like, I think this is a flight risk, but he's white, so let's just go with it. That's unrelated. I had, I think, the best dream that you could have. Better than any sexual thing, any fantasy. Alright, it was, you guys know who Michael Winslow is from Police Academy? The sound effects guy? Yeah, I had this dream that I'm in a Mexican restaurant and Michael Winslow's my waiter and he's carrying over a tray and it sounds like fajitas. There's like and then he just drops a salad on my table and I'm like, Michael Winslow, come on! Winslow! And then like fast forward like next part of the dream and it's like I'm taking my girlfriend to the doctor and he's the doctor and I'm in the waiting room and I just hear like my girlfriend crying and all of a sudden a baby screaming and then someone yell, it's a boy! And I'm like, she's not even, and Michael Winslow comes out and he's like, by the way, your health insurance got rejected. Just here to tell you that. And I was like, Winslow! But this is the worst one, guys. This is the part of the dream that made it crazy. Alright, so Michael Winslow was my roommate, and he's like, I'm gonna go get the newspaper out front, and all of a sudden I hear, get out of here, boy! And he's like, no, please, sirs, I don't want any trouble! And I was like, I'm not falling for that shit. And it was like a weird thing, and then like 6 hours passed, and my roommate's like, has anyone seen Michael? And I was like, no. And then we just hear a ghost start making machine gun sounds. And I was like, Ghost Winslow! Ah! That joke that tapered out pretty weakly. I've been doing stand-up for a while, and once you've been in entertainment long enough, you have like a thing where your family's like, so where's this all going? And my mom was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I'd like to be on Comedy Central. And so she was all, why don't you just get a job as a janitor there and then work your way up? And I was like, Mom, Comedy Central is not like the plot to Good Will Hunting. I can just go around mopping floors at night, solving jokes, and then someone's going to be like, a rape joke where no one gets offended. This guy's hilarious. Put him on television. I love that Michael Winslow joke. I'm in a Twitter battle right now. You know what that is? It's where you like fight with someone. You know who Nick Cannon is? I swear, Nick Cannon posted this thing that was like, let me know what you think of my comedy special. So I tweeted him back, I'm better than you at stand-up, I'd bet my car on it. So he immediately followed back and I was like, +1, all right. And then messaged me and was like, all right, name the time and the place. So I said Stress Factory and I like named the time and like the date, and he had a show that like he was gonna be there. And I don't want to brag, guys, but if you haven't heard, he had a stroke. So it looks like I won. Yeah, has no one heard this?
No! Nick Cannon had a stroke?
Mild stroke. So,
He's young.
I mean, everything about that joke is true, except for I think I won. I think that's just a legitimate health issue. Has anyone seen the Twilight movie?
Oh yeah.
I saw it. I like, kind of like when you're in a relationship, you have to go like back and forth. Like we'll see what you want, and like we'll see what the girl wants. You know how that goes, right? So she's like, we're going to Twilight, midnight showing. And I was like, fuck. So we show up, this is the theater. It's like 14-year-old girls all wearing enough makeup to look like they're going to war. And their fathers. And then the upper top was just like middle-aged gay men who all managed to sneak in martinis. So like the movie starts and it's like Taylor Lautner comes on screen like shirtless and the whole theater just erupts into this applause like, woo! And this 14-year-old girl yells out, I want to have sex with you. Which is so awkward to yell in a packed theater. And then it quiets down and one of the gay guys up top yells down, you wouldn't know what to do with it. It's even more awkward to see that you outpour a 14-year-old girl. What are your standards of life? And then like the girl stands up and just like, wanna know what I would do? First off, I'd kiss him. And it's like, ooh. And all of a sudden the guy stands up and is like, you wanna know what I would do? And then the girl's dad stands up and is like, alright, everybody just shut up and watch the queer movie. I didn't pay $38.50 for this IMAX bullshit. And it was like a weird scene where like someone dies. And then I farted so loud during that scene. And one of the 14-year-old girls goes, why would they put that in the movie? Like, that's the best moment of my life. I just had a fart mistaken for IMAX 3D surround sound. Imagine that girl's world where she's just like, 3D's so good I can smell it. All right, that's it for me, guys.
So Jay, how we doing on the live internet feed? Millions?
Yeah.
How many millions?
3.
3 million. And this is the place where people can go to do it?
Try, certainly.
So yeah, if anybody wants to tweet this link to your buddies who can't be here, j.mp/nofunnybusiness2. All right, everybody, let's keep it moving. Great friend of the show is here. We are so happy to have him. He hails from the Queen City, and he's an up-and-coming comedian who we've known for a long time. Welcome back to the program, Mr. Matt Jenkins.
Oh, hey, what's up?
How you doing?
All right, that's how I prefer to start my set. Shake Charlie's hand. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming. Oh, okay, we got more people. I wasn't lying to you guys. They were really coming in. How are you guys doing? Hey, have a nice crowd, lights and live streaming, but can't turn on the microphone. All right, guys. Anyway, I'll tell you this happened recently. A good friend of mine, his dog Spike ran away, right? For like 2 days. Found the dog 2 days later. Everything was fine. But while this dog Spike was missing, I made a fake Spike Facebook profile. And I sent my friend a friend request. With the message reading, hey, what's up, man? Heard you were looking for me. And my friend writes back, stop playing around. This isn't a joke. Where are you? Was he holding up that laugh out loud sign? Is that what happened? Okay. He was still there. Anyway, guys, I'm a big fan of movies. I love movies. It seems like to me, though, Hollywood keeps making sequels to movies, right? Like, I don't know if anybody here saw Taken 2 with Liam Neeson, yeah? It's a sequel to the movie Taken. That's why there's a 2 at the end of it. I even heard this, guys, that Hollywood greenlit a 3rd one, starring the Ghetto Family. It's called Took. You guys get it? Oh man. It's nice to be performing indoors I did an outdoor show recently, guys, and I bombed. I knew I was bombing when the woman who was laughing during everyone else's set closed her apartment window. I stopped working at the gym, guys. Stopped working at the gym because everybody there is so much stronger than me. Right? That's why to feel better about myself, I started working out at the local physical rehabilitation center. And I'm telling you guys, that is a huge ego boost. Because I may not be able to bench press a lot, but I can certainly catch a tennis ball. The therapist is like, "You're doing great, Mr. Jenkins." I'm like, "Wait till you see me walk." He's very offended by that joke. Oh yeah, all right. All right, guys. Man, I actually went out with this girl the other night, based solely off of Instagram pictures, which is a big mistake, because I ended up going out with a plate of spaghetti. I gotta do some jokes for me. Man, I'm pretty broke, guys. You guys broke at all? That's why they don't have the mics on. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I am very broke though. I don't pay my bills on time. Right? If you don't pay your bills on time, this is what happens. A couple weeks later, you get another one in the mail that'll be red, and it'll say something like, "Urgent, please pay immediately." Right? Like, just because the bill's red, I'm gonna all of a sudden have the money to pay for it. You know, it's like, relax, PSE&G. I know it's urgent. I'm reading your bill by candlelight. I don't know, I am broke though, guys. It's a sad situation. I don't have many possessions. I can't even afford right now to have furniture in my apartment. Right? But my friend was telling me that if you have a smartphone, there's actually an app that you can download from a furniture store that projects a holographic image of a piece of furniture from your phone into your place so you can see what it looks like and whether or not you want to buy it. Right? Which is really convenient for me, because the other night I had this girl over, and as soon as she comes in, she starts hating. She's like, "Oh, you're broke, you're a bum, you don't even have a couch." And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, I'm not a bum. Secondly, may I borrow your smartphone? True story. I don't even know what that is. Okay. This is a nice diverse crowd. I see white and then others. There's a lot of stereotypes. A lot of stereotypes about black people, right? About black people not being able to swim, growing up without their father. Unfortunately, in my case, those are both true. My father drowned trying to teach me how to swim. She said, "It's so true." No, she said Saturdays. I'm just okay. I noticed this, guys. Whenever a racist says something racist, somebody will say, like, "Come on, man, it's 2013." Right? As if that would even matter to a racist. Like, whoa, pardon me. I thought I hated Arabs because of my own prejudice, misplaced hate, and ignorance. But it turns out, I just didn't know the year. The racism is still alive, unfortunately. Any racists here? Yeah. Okay. Now a few of us are uncomfortable. He's like, "Ah, you're nice enough, you gotta be racist." That's the look you, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Racism is still alive though. My family actually fell victim to racism recently. We were on a cruise, and during lunch, we had to sit with other families, right? But no one would sit anywhere near us. And eventually a Hispanic family came over and sat at our table. So of course we moved. I was talking about being broke before. I used to work at a warehouse. Anybody here ever work at a warehouse? Yeah. Okay, I hated the job. But the thing is, a warehouse job is like a very easy job to get because you don't need any skill to work at a warehouse. Right? Like I remember the day I applied, I went in, I asked the boss where the applications were. He's like, they're over there under that box. I go over there, I lift up the box, he's like, congratulations, you got the job. It was stressful there too. You know the job is stressful when just to make it through the day, you start humming Negro spirituals. And your white coworkers join in. Man, you actually had to pass a test to be certified to drive the forklift. Right? But what they don't tell you is growing up, you have to fail a lot of tests to finally decide you want to be certified driving the forklift. It didn't offer like any kind of benefits either, right? Even to this day, I don't like going to see a doctor. Right? That's why I've been using WebMD. You guys know what that is? It's like an internet site where you just type in the symptoms and you get an instant diagnosis. And the thing I like best about it is if you're not happy with the diagnosis, you can just change the symptoms. It's like irreversible liver damage. I don't want that. How about spraying left pinky toe? Not already? What do you know? I could drink tonight. A lot of people now are on antidepressants, right? Everyone's all different. And nothing to be ashamed about it if you are, right? I just saw this. They have antidepressants for pets. You guys know that? They're a lot cheaper than the ones for people. So I've been taking those. I don't know if they're working, but I do feel a lot better about peeing on the carpet. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. I heard the live stream is so popular, we've taken down the healthcare.gov website. So another big part of the show, this is a great variety show, and one of the great things, we get to have great local musicians, and we are so proud to have a terrific band to entertain you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to New Brunswick's very own Save Demon.
So, I don't know if you all knew, but there's an actual musical happening just over there. So if you want, we can all just sit and listen. It's probably going to be a far cry better than what we're going to do. No, I'm just kidding. But we didn't write this one. Ready? You know I told you once tonight that you could always speak your mind. You work so hard to say what's right. I watch you do it all the time. And when I called you on the phone, you said that I could be the one. But here I'm standing all alone, and you're out lying in the sun. Tell me, am I getting in too deep? Every night I'm talking in my sleep. Lately I am so confused, I really don't know what to do. Could you be the one I'm thinking of? Could you be the girl I really love? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know? You know I told you once tonight that you could always speak your mind. You work so hard to say what's right. I watch you do it all the time. And when I called you on the phone, you said that I could be the one. And here I'm standing all alone, and you're out lying in the sun. Tell me, am I getting in too deep? Every night I'm talking in my sleep. Lately I'm so confused, I really don't know what to do.
anything. Both should let it show, or is it just another game that you and I pretend to play? Tell me, am I getting too deep? Every night I'm talking in my sleep. Lily, I am so confused. I really don't know what to do. Could you be the one I'm thinking of? Could you be the girl I really love? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know? All the people tell me so, but what do all the people know?
We'd like to now do a song that was written by a very, very fantastic songwriter named Shane Gooding, who passed away way too soon. So this one is for Shane. It's called Mary.
Now Mary came down from her high too hard. She broke half her knees. As pleased with me, she fell from the top. And mine, you know I heard her once say, she said, I only like you one way. And I said, okay, you only like you one way. I may have a problem for you, 'cause everything that you never wanted will be upon you when we're through. Now what can we do? Mary says she kept all the keys for these good locker tips to her top. And mine, you know I heard her once say, she said, whoa, I only like you one way. And I said, I see you only like you one way. I still got this problem for you, 'cause everything that you never wanted will be upon you when we're through. Now what can we do? Now Mary says I've got this broken heart. It seems it beats, so seems to tack and sail over top. And mine, you know I heard her once say, she said, oh my God, I only like you one way. And I said, oh, okay, you only like you one way. I may have a problem for you, 'cause everything that you never wanted will be upon you when we're through. Now what can we do?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about those guys? Give it to them one more time. We'll be back later for more. But for now, back to the funny. This man is on our show for the very first time, and we're very, very excited that he is joining us now that we're in such a big venue. We want to welcome now Tim Alexander, our dear friend.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I figure I'll just continue the music stuff. The only thing I know is I missed the bus by Crisscross, but I can do that whole song. I was up, he was up, but I laid back down, thinking I could chill. I'm not gonna do the whole song, but I can. I'm actually from New Brunswick. I live in New York now. This is my hometown. I came to George Street Playhouse when I was a kid, so it's cool to be playing here. I was actually just home recently because I was moving into the city, and I found a family tree that I did when I was much younger. And a family tree was the first time that really like sunk in for me that I'm half Irish and half black. Some of you are like, oh. He's not Dominican. So, like doing that part. So I learned two things. One, with my mom's side, you can trace our roots back to Cork, Ireland. Yeah.
Used to live there.
Go Cork.
Oh, Cork. Oh, yeah.
The Fighting Corks. I don't know. And on my dad's side, black is not a place. You can't go there. There's no 9-hour flight to Blackmanistan. Country that would win all the Olympics in the summer. Except for swimming. And some of you guys thought about Africa just now, and that's not a country, so you're a dick. But if you thought about Atlanta, that's funny. So I had to ask my dad about that, the whole not being a place thing. So my dad was this tough guy. When he wasn't like a help you with your homework kind of dad. He grew up poor. He was in the military most of his life, and he was doing white women back before that was really that cool. Like he probably thought it was great, but everyone else is like, I don't know if that's legal in this state yet. So I asked him like, Dad, what are we? And he's like, black, like I'm retarded. And I'm like, okay, like what kind of black? And he's like, shit, Timmy, I don't know. Slave black. Which is the worst crayon color. That's it. There's nothing you can draw with dark brown with a red stripe. I don't know. I like that too. The official term for someone like me is Halfrican. So we're like, I know, and everyone's like, I learned the word. But it's funny. I did this show a couple weeks ago back in Philly, which is fine. You know, Philly. We're not Detroit. And after the show, me and this other black comedian are hanging out, and this girl comes up to me, and she says, so do you feel inferior because you're not a real black guy? Oh, that's what I said. So I was like, all right, let's go with this. He probably runs faster than me, and is definitely a better dancer. But I probably have a better credit score. I don't know. It works out, you know. But the reality is, yes, absolutely. When she blew up my spot, I was trying to make a black friend. Like, if I'm your black friend, you're a racist. I wish I had, like, and I grew up in this area. I mean, it wasn't the worst place. It wasn't Mayberry either. I wish I had swagger. But did you hear what it sounded like when I said swagger? I don't know. It's okay. Yeah, this is just me bearing my soul. So I just moved. I just moved into the city like a Sunday. Like, I've been there like not even a week yet. I used to live alone, and that didn't work at all. I needed people to be considerate of, because it just turned into this man style. I didn't have to be worrying about other people. So it just looked like I ate my whole life and just threw up everywhere. And getting a girl in the bed would just be like this double dare obstacle course. It's just as much slime, but it's all in the socks. It's dry. It's fine. Step on one, it's a Dorito. It's just. No, but it's good. I'm glad to be moved in. I've only been back in the U.S. for a little while. I lived in England for a good number of years. I used to live over there and work over there and stuff. That's what you do. live and work the same place. And when I got back, everybody felt obliged to do their British accent. They're like, "Hello, Governor. Let's do some tea and crumpets." We're like, yeah, that's they're all chimney sweeps over there. I don't know. So no, but it's good to be. Now I'm living with roommates again. I was just actually hanging out with one of them. We went to a place in Chinatown, and we're hanging out at this place called Joe's Shanghai, trying to get in, and we ended up chatting up these two Asian girls, and we realized mid-conversation that they're just way too young for us to be talking to. And they're Asian, you can't tell, right? It's like, you get a pass. So we're getting away from the situation, and then as we're walking away, my buddy goes, "Man, do I feel like a pedophile." Never say that out loud. There's something, if somebody says like, "How are you feeling?" the answer should never be pedophilic. If I'm at a party and I'm feeling a little drunk and someone says, "Hey Tim, how you feeling?" I'm not gonna say rapey. It doesn't matter what's true, just don't say it out loud. So no, it's been good. During the move, I lost my cell phone, which is awful. Does that happen? I hear like groans. Does that happen to people recently?
No, I'm sympathetic.
Oh, thank you. Losing your phone is now so much worse than losing your wallet. There's never a situation where you're like, "Oh my God, there were so many pictures of my dick in that wallet." Because I get this nightmare scenario in my mind where like somebody finds it and they know my password for some reason and they just upload everything to Facebook and then it gets no likes. Just an "aww" or an LOL, like that's what I'm worried about. By the way, that joke's only funny if you've sent or received dick pics. You're like, don't look at, like everyone here has dick pics on their phone right now. I'm an adult male, so I watch a lot of porn. And here's what I noticed recently. Across the top of the websites now, they have things like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Is anyone doing that? Is anyone sharing their porn? I like delete my history for the 3 midgets and a MILF. I'm not gonna put that shit on my wall. By the way, who's using Google+? Ridiculous. I'm hoping that LinkedIn gets involved in this situation. Because there are some people that I can endorse for multitasking. Folks, that's my time. My name is Tim Alexander.
All right, everybody. Now, I know when everybody says, they say, we want to see more special characters on the show. I've got it for you. That is funny, right? I'm very pleased to welcome this next guest to the show. He is one of the many great characters that you'll be seeing here at our run at the Playhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, dance together for the Stoned Wizard. Over here. Over here.
What is that?
Nice Jets move.
Good morning, everyone.
Stone Wizard.
Stone Wizard, it's actually like 10:30 at night. It's quite late.
We must go for dinner then.
Wait, no, Stone Wizard, come on back. You're a guest on this show, and we're happy to have you. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Thanks for having me here at the Maury Povich show. Sounded fun to me, huh?
Whatever, it's fine. So tell us a little bit about yourself. This is the first time you're on our program here, the Maury Show.
Yes, I'm known by many names. the stoned wizard, Gandalf the Green, and the homeless man from across the street.
Okay, so I gotta ask, where do you hail from? Where did you come from?
A far and magical place. High Street, New Brunswick. Wait! I sense a growing evil in here.
What do you mean, like Cahill?
No, much worse. The Bieber fever. We must stop it.
Okay. So I gotta ask you, the first wizard I met, or do you hang out with other wizards here in Middlesex County?
Yes, we do. Yes. We are known as the Wizards of Menlo Park Mall. or simply the custodians of Menlo Park.
Well, so what do you do with the other wizards? Take a seat if you like.
No. Wizard never sits.
So what do you do with these the other wizards? Do you like do magic? Any kind of spells? What do you do?
Are you a narc?
No, I'm not a narc.
Then yes, we do magic every day.
Well, could you maybe like give us an example of one of these spells you might cast?
Absolutely not. The last time I did that, it spread like wildfire. Now everyone is twerking and it's terrible.
I was him. So I gotta ask, why are you even here tonight? Why'd you come on the show tonight?
I am here to celebrate, because I heard New Jersey has finally legalized it on Monday.
I hate to break it to you. This really breaks my heart, but they legalized gay marriage, not drugs.
Yes. So.
You're obviously a fan of weed, marijuana. Let's talk about that.
What makes you say?
Just the stodge. I heard Uruguay, the country of Uruguay, just legalized it. They're selling it for $1 a gram. What's your take on that? What do you think?
There goes their chance in the World Cup.
You're a little slower, yeah. And in New Jersey, our governor is very much against loosening the restrictions on marijuana. What do you make of our governor here?
The man looks like he has the munchies constantly.
All right, Stone Wizard. Well,
Listen,
yeah.
I have to go see this amazing movie. It's about a bong.
What are you going to see the movie now? What movie is
It's
it?
called Gravity. Before I go, I shall leave you with these words of wisdom. If someone you do not like wants to smoke with you, just say these magic words. You shall not puff!
Stone Wizard, everybody. All right, everybody. Well, you might recognize our next comedian. He is a New Brunswick legend, and he got his start on this show. We're very proud to have him back. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my good friend and yours, Kevin Danger.
Hi guys, welcome to No Funny Business. Give it up for Charlie for putting the show together. Mike, this is a union? It's a union.
Mike's are in the union.
Mike's a union?
Mike's are in the union.
What about Dave? Anybody? Feels weird without it, but thank you all for coming tonight. Welcome to No Funny Business. Well, I'll just come right out and say it. Welcome back to the government, too. Welcome back to them. They took a little break. It's all about this Obamacare stuff. I didn't really understand it until my birthday this year when I turned 26. And you know what happens when you turn 26? You lose your health insurance. You know what I got for my 26th birthday? A stomach virus, which was great. And so I realized on my 26th birthday that it was fine. I was fine without having insurance, as long as I had the internet. Because WebMD, right? I'm happy. Like, oh, get out of here. Matt was saying this. Like Matt kind of covered this, but I'm going to do WebMD jokes too. So just deal. I feel like I'm as valuable as information you can get on the internet. I'm no more valuable than that. So I said that to my girlfriend. My girlfriend's like, oh my God, you should care more about yourself. It's terrible. And you know, like I don't, but that's fine. And then when her cat gets sick, she gets mad at me again because I recommended WebMD. She's like, that's a virtual doctor. And I'm like, well, cats are virtually people. She's like, no, cats are really people. And so, you know, you have to be diplomatic when you're in a relationship, so I didn't argue with her, but in my head I'm thinking like, cats are not fucking people. Has a cat ever had a panic attack after reading a text from its bank? They're not fucking people. I don't know, this whole health.gov.net, whatever, I haven't been on it yet. Has anybody tried it? Has anybody actually gotten insurance on the internet? One guy? Did it work?
I just got through after 2 weeks to try it, 3 weeks to try it.
3 weeks? Jesus Christ. Okay, so the internet got you insurance in 3 weeks and ruined my birthday in one night. Let me tell you that. The internet has everything. The internet giveth and doesn't taketh. It just giveth. And I'm on the internet and I'm like looking up friends from high school and I wanted to check up on people and like, so I type in my buddy's name and his picture comes up immediately on Google. It's like first image is this guy's face. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He looks fucking sad in that picture. That's weird. Click. Oh, this is a mugshot. He committed a crime. Let's see what he did. Click. Oh, he raped somebody. The internet's so thorough. The date of that rape? My birthday. Thanks, internet. That's not how I celebrate my birthday, for the record. Seriously, it's not. Where was I going to go with this? I had a thing. Oh, so I went on a road trip this summer. Has anybody been across country?
Yeah.
Got two guys in the back. Those two guys with the hat and the beard, that's who I went with, Scott and Vince. The song that Sean and David did earlier, that song Mary with the harmonica, by the singer whose life we sort of chronicled on our trip. Yeah. That's just said. I got to Fort Collins, Colorado. Has anyone here been to Fort Collins? Ever?
Yeah.
Fort Collins is full of interesting people. As if, for instance, you know when you make like unintentional eye contact with somebody out here, the face that you get back is usually something like this. I didn't mean to fucking look at you. Stop looking at me, like that kind of face. Okay, so I'm outside of some bar in Fort Collins, and this guy looks at me, and I give him that face. I'm like, stop fucking looking at me, man. Like, what am I, animal? And I don't pay any more attention to it. I walk away, I'm talking to my friends. And like 2 seconds later, I get this. And I turn around, it's that fucking guy. And he's like, hey bro, just want to let you know I don't want to fight you. Me neither? I don't want to fight you either. Like, no, I don't want to talk to you. That's what the face was about. So he proceeds to like chew my ear off and just like give me the whole life story of why he's in Fort Collins, he's mad at his wife, his kids are bothering him, he's there to cut loose and relax. And this whole time I'm just like trying to get back to my friends, like politely, because for being from the East Coast, I am still like a social pussy who's like, I can't just be like, whatever, bro. Like, that just doesn't work for me. So anyway, I heard the guy out, and the guy decided, uninvited, to give me advice about my life. You know what he said? Bro, gotta marry the girl that does what you want to do, not the girl that gives it up. Sound advice, I guess. Thank you. As I'm making my exit, one of his boys shows up. It's like a short little pipsqueak who's like obviously 50 and has no business at a college bar. He's like, yo, I heard you want to fight my friend. Oh, don't fight your frown. And then this guy just like set the tone for the rest of the conversation by going, "You like that smell, guys?" I'm like, "Oh God, what are you talking about?" "Pussy, man, you like that smell, guys?" "Dude, no, I don't. I don't like that smell. Please stop talking to me." And then he gave me another piece of unsolicited advice, which I swear to God, I'm not making this up. He goes, "You know what, bro? Here's some advice." I'm like, "Great. Throat fuck him." That's what they want anyway. That's all I got. And so I killed myself. Good night, guys.
Coach Nergus. No, I am in the best seat in the house tonight because I got to watch Kevin's parents react to his act. All right, everybody, and now it's time for our favorite band that was performing there. Yes. So, yeah, this is Save Demon from New Brunswick. They're going to regale us with another song, and stay tuned. Jared Berenstein coming up after this.
All right. So, we did write this one. Presidents, penetrants, we will see them. We shouldn't talk about it. Hidden truth, made it good, right and easy, we all know them. We shouldn't talk about it. We are waking up inside our heads, though, for other people, paying for the choices that we could make. If this town burns down, rather not talk about it. You think we put up a fight? No, we just put up some signs. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. Nearly mom, nearly dad, nearly born, we understand them. We shouldn't talk about it. Smoking up, knocking back, coming down, we've all been there. We shouldn't talk about it. We are moving from the minivan right to a studio in Jersey, paying for the choices that we wouldn't make. If we end up homeless, rather not talk about it. We didn't do the research, but we found the other side. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. Open up your eyes and shut your mouth about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. We don't know it, we don't talk about it. Where'd you go when you left? 3:30 in the morning. We shouldn't talk about it. What'd you say to your phone when you stood in the doorway? We shouldn't talk about it. There's no solace in the silence, just a vacuum of ideas, dispelling all the whispers. Till there's nothing left but fear, so we can hang on to that hatred. But we shouldn't talk about it. We don't know and we don't talk about it. We don't know and we don't talk about it. We don't know and we don't talk about it. Open up your eyes and shut your mouth about it. We don't know and we don't talk about it. We don't know, no.
All right. Well, now we are fired up for our final comedian of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the headliner this evening, Mr. Jarrett Berenstein.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. What's going on? I'm a lot older than I look. I don't know why that is exactly, but just to give you some context for this bit here, because a lot of my friends have kids now, but they haven't learned how to behave now that they have kids. So like, one of my friends called me up, this guy that I've been friends with since college. He called me up and he was like, Jarrett, you want to come over on Saturday and hang out with me and my baby? I was like, no, I don't think that sounds like fun. But then he goes, ah, dude, you gotta meet my baby. He's so chill. Now that chill was a really weird way to describe a baby. Like I'm gonna go over there and this baby is gonna be chilling out on the couch with a pair of shades on. I'm gonna be like, baby, what do you wanna do today? Baby's just gonna be like, psh. I don't care, man. I could do blocks. I could do wheels on the bus. I could just sit here and put my pants, man. I'm down for whatever. Chill baby's like kind of baby where you ask it, you play peekaboo with him, or you put your hands in front of his eyes, but he just goes, all right, later, bro. I travel a lot, so I learn a lot about proper like travel etiquette and travel tips. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you rent a car, if you use your credit card to rent the car, then your credit card insures the car for you, so you don't have to buy like that extra insurance that they try to sell you. Now, one time I rented a car and this guy was like, do you want the insurance? And I was like, no thank you, it's covered my credit card. But then the guy is like, he's like, yeah, but not if you kill somebody. It's like, if you kill somebody with this rental card just with your credit card's insurance, then you're still liable. So I was like, all right, so if I get your insurance, then I can just kill somebody and walk away. I'll take it. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but if I had to pick a #1 reason why I don't murder people with rental cars, I'd probably go with consequences. So on the same trip, I took this trip, it was with a friend of mine who's a doctor. I'll give you some time, don't worry. You have time during the setup for the next joke to finish laughing at the last joke. So I was on this trip with a friend of mine who's a doctor. He's an anesthesiologist. And this has never happened to me before, but we were on the flight. You know in the movies when someone gets sick on a plane and they say over the loudspeaker, like, is there a doctor on the plane? That happened to us. It was really exciting. Because you got a loudspeaker and they're like, is there a doctor on the plane? There's a woman in first class who's passed out. Is there a doctor on the plane? And my friend was like, I should say something. And I was like, dude, she's passed out. You're an anesthesiologist. What do you expect to accomplish up there? It's like, well, she's out, and that's what I do. I'm gonna take a coffee break. Yeah. That's my hype man, he just records laughter. Just fill in the blanks, you know.
Sorry.
It's alright, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm a big fan of, I'm not fancy about beer. I like cheap beer. It's my favorite kind of beer. But I think that the way that they advertise cheap beer sometimes is a little bit weird. Like I heard this commercial recently for Coors Light, and the way the commercial worked was some guy goes up, he's like, give me 2 Coors Lights. And the bartender reaches to the top of a snowy mountain, and he pulls the beers, and he gives them to the dude, and the dude takes one sip and he goes, That's the coldest beer I've ever had. That seems like a weird way to sell beer. Like, by how cold it can get. So it's more like an ad for that refrigerator. Like the rest of the commercial should be like, that's the coldest beer I've ever had. What is that, a Maytag? You get that at Sears? In New York, we have this prison called Rikers Island. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. But I went to Rikers Island to bail a friend of mine out of Rikers Island, and I learned two fascinating things about Rikers Island. The first is that Rikers Island, as the name would suggest, is an island. So it's surrounded on all sides by water, just like Alcatraz. Second fun fact I learned about Rikers is that directly across the water from this prison was LaGuardia International Airport. So guys, there's an airport directly across the water from the prison. So if you ever feel like fucking with people, just go to the airport soaking wet. Right, just go up to the counter, be like, excuse me, do you have any flights leaving right the fuck now? Love a ticket for one, don't care where it's going so much. Far would be great. And just refresh my memory, how much are plane tickets? How many cigarettes? I know I seem pretty smooth up here, guys, but when I was a kid, when I was like a teenager, I was really nervous around women, like all the time. But it wasn't my fault. It was my health teacher's fault. Because when we were young, she showed us a video of a child being born. That wasn't the problem. The problem was she put the video in at the end. And she made us watch while she rewound it. So as a young man, I got to watch a vagina eat a baby. I watched a vagina eat a baby feet first. There's a doctor there, but he's not helping. He's basically just feeding. Lifting it in there. The baby is just like covered in what at the time I could only assume was baby sauce. Even that would have been a problem, but then the teacher's like, making love is when you put your penis in there. I was like, I just watched that thing wolf down a baby in one bite. It didn't chew even. That's how a python eats things. I think I'll keep my dick away from there. That's cool with everybody. When I was that age, I liked to use the library, and I still use the library a lot. And it's not because I'm cheap or because I'm poor. It's because there's a lot of books that I want to read that I don't necessarily want to own. For example, I just took out of the library Rob Lowe's memoirs. I don't want to own Rob Lowe's memoirs. I want to bring some girl back to my place and have her be like, oh, you bought Rob Lowe's memoirs. I don't want to read Rob Lowe's memoirs. Are you kidding me, man? Do you guys have any idea what his life was like in the 80s? I do, because I fucking read his memoirs, man. He did a lot of coke. It's a fun drug. I was doing a little research. I was doing a little cocaine research. I went on Cocaine has a Wikipedia page. I went on, yeah, it's nice. It was nice, bro. Yeah. Do this weekend, just Wikipedia cocaine. Nice, bro. So here's something fascinating about the Wikipedia page for cocaine is that there's a picture of a little pile of cocaine on the Wikipedia page so that you know what cocaine looks like. For reference. In the picture with the cocaine is a penny. For perspective. So that you know how big a pile of cocaine is. That's extremely helpful. because it's not like cocaine is a powder that could be made into literally any size. Like there's some cop at a drug bust with a penny going like, none of this is cocaine, it's like way too big. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's like 1,000 times the size of cocaine. You gotta let this guy go. Sometimes in New York, when a train station is closed, when a subway station is closed, they'll put a sign up in front of the train station so that you know that it's closed. Now, I was recently walking to a train station and I saw one of these signs up, but I couldn't see what it said. And I was approaching it, I was getting angrier and angrier. I was like, fuck this, man. Station's closed. I'm gonna have to walk like 10 blocks to get to the next station. This sucks, man. I just added 45 minutes to my commute. And then I actually got up to the poster, and it was not a closed sign. It was a poster for a missing child. And I was like, thank God. Oh man, it really makes my life a lot easier. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. I have a friend who's on a sitcom. He's an actor, and sitcom gigs for actors are really good. You get paid a lot of money. You do a lot of work. But he's nervous because the character that he played was just in a building that was on fire. So he thinks that his character is going to be killed off, which means he's out of a job. Now, to add insult to injury, he's got to go in and record the sound of his character screaming in this fire. And I told him, listen man, if you're concerned about your character getting killed off, why don't you just scream like this? Like, ah! Ah, I think I'm gonna be okay! Ah, I found a fire extinguisher! I will definitely walk out of here! Do you guys know the group LMFAO? You guys know them? They have one of my favorite lyrics of all time. I want to share it with you guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Party Rock song, but at the end of the Party Rock song, the main LMFAO guy, the one with the afro, he's got this lyric where he goes, I just want to see you go home with me. And then he goes, you're naked now. Just shouts that out. He just goes, you're naked now. I see a lot of dudes in here. Are any of the dudes in here single? Yeah?
Yeah!
Well,
Single to single!
this is for all the single dudes. You're naked now is by far the best thing that you can say to a girl when she gets naked in front of you for the first time. That's what you do. You light some candles, you put on some slow music, you take off her clothes, you go, you're naked now! Nothing lets a girl know that you are used to seeing naked women than when you shout excitedly, you're naked now! Don't do that. If you shout you're naked now at a naked woman, it makes you sound like a perverted magician. Like, pick a card, you're naked now! I was a big fan. I watched a lot of movies when I was growing up. I don't know if I still watch a lot of movies. Did you guys, I don't know if anybody ever watched the original Superman movie from the 1970s? You guys remember that? Yeah. I didn't remember this, but there's a montage in that movie where Superman is flying around helping people, and one of the things he does is he gets the little girl's cat out of a tree. Which is so adorable, right? And the little girl is so happy to get her cat back, and from Superman 2, she runs in the house. She goes, Mommy, Mommy, a man flew out of the sky and got my cat for me. And I swear to God, you hear this from inside the house. The mom goes, what have I told you about telling lies? She smacks her kid. I was watching that and I was like, yo, Superman. Way to solve the real problem there, man. job with that cat, I guess. Do you want to stop the domestic abuse that's going on in that house? I feel like it's kind of a Superman-y job. Oh, you're just flying away? All right, cool, whatever, man. Yeah. I think we've got another one of Superman's weaknesses. There's kryptonite, which we all know about, and prioritization. It's like, Superman, help! All right, so listen, what seems to be the problem here? Oh, Superman, thank God you're here. I can't get my knife out of this woman. There you go, citizen. Thanks, Superman, goodbye. More stabbing, that's what I like to do. So, I mentioned how I was nervous around women when I was growing up, but I did manage to have sex a couple times. You know, I feel like it was a group effort, you know. We all had a little part of that. But here's the bad news, is that when I was still in high school, I thought I got this girl pregnant, and that was one of the scariest things that ever happened to me. And I didn't know what to do about it, because I had zero experience with this in the past. So I went to my dad for advice. So my dad, up until this point, had always given me the best advice of my life. So I went to his office, and I was like, Dad, I think I got this girl pregnant, and if she has the baby, it's gonna ruin my life. What can I do to convince her to, like, get rid of the baby? If you know what I mean. And I will never forget this as long as I live. My dad looked at me right in the face, and he goes, Jarrett, you are here on this earth because I don't know how to convince a woman.
Oh yeah, you can sit over there and can you hear me all the way around?
I totally can. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that was a really great set. Tell us how you got to be in the comedy business in New York. You're not from the East Coast. Right?
No, I grew up in Los Angeles, and I was a pretty serious comedy nerd when I was a kid in high school, but for some reason I never put the pieces together. I moved to New York to be an actor, and when I realized that I didn't like hanging out with other actors, I kind of went back to what I had loved originally, and I started like doing open mics and doing improv and stuff like that.
Very cool. And you have your own show in New York, or?
Yeah, I have a couple of shows actually. I started producing sort of like collections of sketches that I had written and sort of like longer storytelling / stand-up shows. My first one was a solo sketch show called Bushka Cloud. That was just like a bunch of like individual sketches. The second one I did was a show.
You had a microphone, right?
What's up?
You had a working microphone?
I did have a working microphone, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, pretty professional though, yeah. The second one I did was called The New Job Show, which was basically a long story about how I was trying to get into comedy and away from restaurant work.
Yes.
AKA the new job would be comedy.
So do you not do the restaurant thing anymore? Or
I know, I retired from restaurants.
Congratulations.
5 months ago, yeah. Thank you very much.
Cool, how's your pension?
What's up?
How's the pension?
How's the pension? Oh, it's great, you know. I got one of those golden parachutes.
Oh, good.
That everybody's always talking about. Yeah, it was like 20 million, but I burned through that pretty early because I got a serious coke habit.
Right. But no, it must be fun living in New York, being a part of the comedy scene there.
Yeah. It's a difficult community to survive, as I'm sure any of these comics can tell you. It's a giant pain in the ass. You gotta kiss a lot of asses and shake a lot of hands, but you know, it is worth it to do something that's this fun, you know?
Awesome. Yeah, well, tell the folks where they can see your show.
So those are the first two shows I mentioned, Bushka Cloud and The New Job Show. They have very limited runs, but I'm working on a show right now called Current Events. Current Events is it's a monthly news rundown. So what happens is at the end of every month, I take all the news that happened in that month and I write an entire show around it, and then after that month is over, I throw all that material away and I start over again. And so right now we're gearing up for October, so I'm in the middle of writing that show. And that'll go up at the end of this month. And if any of you guys are interested in coming to check out that show, because it goes up so many times at so many different theaters, the best way to check that out is to go to the website. It's called currenteventscomedy.com. and that will give you all the information about
Track him down whenever you need.
exactly. And if you come see me after the show, I can give you a card with the website on it, and then you guys can all come see it. It's been a very fun show, and I'm really excited about it. So please do come check it out.
Cool. Yeah. So like, what kind of current events you got for this month?
For this month, oh god, I got a lot of stuff about the shutdown because that was just so huge. I don't know if you know this, but when the shutdown started and the Democrats were like, all right, we gotta end the shutdown, do you know what the first thing they did was? This is true. They hid Joe Biden.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they just sent him away.
He was supposed to come to Jersey actually.
To do a speech,
campaign
right?
for Booker.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he canceled it because I guess he was hiding in a.
They didn't want him to talk to people, I guess.
They thought
It would ruin the
he would
shutdown.
lose his cool.
Yeah,
He would ruin the negotiations.
No, yeah, I thought it was so funny. And I was like, what are they doing? What is he just doing? It's like having ice cream and playing with trains.
Right. He wasn't enjoying it.
He loves trains. That guy does. Yeah. So like there's that, but also I also like doing silly stories. Like I talk about Kanye's proposal. I'm talking about the fact that Google wants to use your name now in advertising. So instead of saying like buy the Honda CRX, it's gonna be like, hey, Jimmy, buy this Honda CRX. It's gonna include like comments from your friends and stuff like that too.
Right.
So-
It'll say, well, yeah, Charlie likes the Honda.
Charlie likes the Honda.
So
Did you know?
You should get that. Cool, man. Well, can you give us a little taste of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely.
On the show, you have a.
I don't have anything from current events, but I have a bit that I do in the new job show that I'd be happy to do for you guys now. So, in the show where I'm talking about trying to get a new job and trying to get a start in comedy, I talk about all the different things that I've done to try to get my career jump-started, and one of the things I talk about is putting together what are called solo sketches, and this is one of the solo sketches from the new job show. So, has anybody here ever used Craigslist to try to get a new apartment? Okay. Now let me hear noise if when you were trying to get an apartment on Craigslist, you got an email from somebody who was clearly bullshit trying to scam you out of your money. Alright, cool. So those are annoying, right? Like, it's obvious that they're just trying to steal your money, but every once in a while, somebody who's trying to steal your money from you via Craigslist sends you an email that is so amazing that you just want to show it to all your friends and share it with the world. And I have one of those emails that I got, so I'm going to read it to you guys now. This is a letter from somebody who introduced themselves to me as a woman named Cynthia. And she writes, "Hello, there is no problem, and there is spelled T-H-E-I-R. So you guys know that is not the correct there. What'd you say?
There's a problem.
You know, it's already a problem, right? It's like there's no problem, there's definitely a problem. There is no problem with the lease plan you have chosen, and secondly, which is weird when you don't say firstly, right? You just drop secondly's in willy-nilly like that. All right. And secondly, all the utilities, including the ones you have mentioned, are included on the rent." I agree. But it gets weirder, if you can believe it. The only problem here is viewing the apartment. Because right now I am not in town due to my husband ghastly motor accident. This type of motor accident. Right now I'm not in town due to my husband ghastly motor accident on 17th of March. So he is badly burnt and receiving medical treatment in Washington, D.C. And I don't know when he will be okay. And I'm the only one taking care of him here in the hospital since we don't have kid. The only thing I can do for now is to instruct you like I did for other tenants. You know what when they bring up the other tenant, it's supposed to make you act faster because it's like, oh, there's another tenant, I gotta act fast because this other person's gonna take the apartment away from me. So the only thing I can do for now is to instruct you like I did for other tenant on how you can secure the apartment and blah, blah, blah. She sent me some instructions on how I can send her money, and then she finishes, await your email soonest. Regards, Cynthia. So obviously I had to write her back. So I wrote, "Dear Cynthia, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband's accident. That happened on the 17th of March. I hear that's a bad day for accidents. So I do not find it weird at all that you have shared that extremely specific information with me. Personally, I try not to travel during that whole week, for fear that I too may become badly burnt and sent to Washington, D.C. I'm also horrified to hear that you don't have kid. That is the most ghastly part of your email, if you ask me. If only you had kid. Kid watch husband. Husband get better. Cynthia rent apartment. Was other tenant as sympathetic? Fifthly, I'm eager to secure the apartment, but there is a problem. All of my money is in a bank account. And not in a hospital in Washington, D.C., where you are. How can I get you the money? If other tenant gets apartments, I'll be so upset. I don't want to get burned. What can I do? Wait a minute. I have kid. Problem solved. Just let me know where to send kid and he will run there with money. And then I sign off. I write, awaiting your email, and I spell your Y-O-U''R-E. Waiting your email as soon as possible. Regards, Jared Bernstein. Thank you so much, guys.
The time we have for tonight, but it's such a pleasure to do this show. I'm so glad to be back. Thanks to all of you for coming out. I want to thank the whole team. We have Jimmy Oliver got us started off, Tim Alexander, Kevin Danger, Matt, and Garrett. I want to thank Dan Forte, Collab Arts for making it happen. I want to thank the Love of My Life Molly over here. I want to thank Leor and Carmen for putting it together.